Hi everyone, so I'm back. Quickly, just want to get into this. I'm doing a full moon ritual. Wow, already stuttering here. This is something that's going to be a little bit more focused on glamour, kind of siren energy, stuff like that. But you could do this at any time. It doesn't have to be the full moon. I just like for it to be the full moon. Yeah. Anyways, so getting started, I have all of my supplies prepped. I don't know if you can see it right there, but I have some sandalwood incense burning. I have a purple candle lit and then a carnelian little stone there, which I'm going to kind of get into in a second. My other supplies that I have is just in this little coconut here where I have the incense burning. I have all of my kind of daily use crystals. These are ones that I just kind of use and reach for more often than others that I just keep here because it's easier. My incense is already lit. I also have here a seashell. I have a very crusty pink candle. Don't ask. But I have a pink candle that I'm going to use, and then I also have this cologne that is a cinnamon stick in there, and then don't mind the sticker. This is very not aesthetic, but it's very me. You are very much getting a good look as to what rituals kind of look like sometimes for me. But I have a cologne that I'm going to be using. I'm probably going to edit that out because it's going to get messy. And then I also have this. These are the herbs that I actually use to make the cologne. This is a fresh bottle of it, so this is what I use. They're still a little bit damp, I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, we'll kind of talk about this more in a second. And yeah, I feel like that's kind of everything for now. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start just basically prepping my hands and my ingredients. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start running my hands through the incense. This is how I like to basically amplify my working hands. It just kind of like is a nice like fresh start for me. I'll also take my supplies like my candle and I'll run it through the incense. I'm going to take my crystals that I'm going to be using, pass it through. Well, the one crystal I'm going to start with, and then I'm going to take my seashell and I'm going to pass it through. Okay, here's where we're going to start preparing the ritual. So if I were invoking an entity or like a deity, for example, if I was working with like Aphrodite or something like that, I would start basically prepping her now. So if I'm doing something on the ground, which I am right now, as you can hear the cars passing and everything like that, you can tell I'm outside and I'm on the ground. So I like to have them more up, like on a stand. I don't like to put their statues directly on the ground because that just doesn't feel right to me. So I would stand them up, but for this I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just kind of doing this on my own. So I'm going to kind of skip that part, and also make sure that you're like giving your offerings and everything like that as well. But anyways, I'm going to skip that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start preparing my circle. So I am going to start with this being like the starting point of my circle. Now I'm going to quickly pass through a couple more pieces of carnelian. And I'm gonna take as well, what do I want to do? I'm gonna take a seashell. This is one of my favorite seashells in my collection, by the way. I'm gonna take a piece of black tourmaline and I'm gonna place this here. And then lastly, a carnelian palm stone, and I'm gonna run this through the incense again, but I'm gonna be using it in the ritual. So I'm gonna leave it right there. Now, let's get into the herbs. So these again are already charged. I don't remember if I said this or not, but this is basically like rose, hibiscus, cherry bark, catnip. I have some rose quartz chips, jasmines, everything like that is all in here. I do have a stick of cinnamon, but I'm not going to be using that. But I have all of these. There is some essential oils, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it little bit by little bit. I'm going to run it through here, and I'm gonna place it at the bottom here. If you are somebody who likes to like have on a piece of paper their intention and everything, what I want you to do for that is I want you to go on, like, I want you to take the paper, rip off the man-made edges of the paper going towards you, maybe put a little bit of oil or like some cologne, whichever. You're gonna take that and you are going to write your intention on it, fold it towards you, and place it under the seashell where we're placing these. And basically what that's going to do is that is going to like charge all of this that you have going on. I personally, for today, I'm going to skip that step because this is a fresh bottle of cologne, so I feel like it's already very, very charged. I charged it last night under the, like, oh my gosh, I'm completely blanking on the word, waxing moon. The one where it gets bigger. I feel like I'm completely forgetting that word for some reason. But yeah, whichever one that is, I can't think of right now. It's already been charged and it's been less than 24 hours still, so I'm just gonna leave it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this cologne. This is going to get messy. This cologne is something that I am working on maybe making for you guys. We shall see. I'm kind of working on a scent though, something to maybe like perfume it a little better, because at least for me this is very floral, and fun fact is I actually hate floral scents. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of this. Don't ask. Hopefully I won't make a mess this time. There we go. Oh yeah, I did it. I made a mess. Okay, it's fine. But I just wanted to take that, and then what I'm going to do is, if I had actually, you know what, no, never mind, I'm gonna cancel that thought. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this, I'm gonna pick it up one more time, and I'm gonna just pass it through the incense a couple of times, going in a clockwise motion and really setting my intention. So for those of you that feel very connected to siren energy, this would definitely be a part where you might want to sing your intention into it or something like that. I'm not going to do that because I'm on camera. This is also something very good as well, like this specific mixture that I have for those of you that are connected to siren energy, because it has cherry bark in it, and cherry bark is very, 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 you know, it's very good for those of you who feel very connected to that siren energy. Hopefully you can hear me with all the energy, the cars and stuff going by. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more of the cologne, and I'm actually going to run it through my hand a little bit, just a tiny little drop. This type of cologne, this isn't like a Florida water type of cologne. This is more like if you had like a rose cologne. I'm going to take it through my hands, and I'm actually going to start rubbing it on my candle. If you also have oils, this has oils in it. I'm not making it like a typical like rose cologne or something. This is actually very oily. I don't even know why I'm calling it a cologne. Hopefully you know what I mean. But I'm doing this in a downward motion for it to be more towards me. I'm gonna kind of rub this on the back of my hand a little bit, the bottom that is, so that it's dry. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna stick it on my carnelian. Now I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna move them closer together, and hopefully that was okay. Hopefully you got that. I just moved these two closer together. I'm closing my bottle of cologne, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a match. I'm going to light my candle. And then what you want to do next is take this, your incense, and then you're going to go around a couple times through the circle. going clockwise. I'm going to stick it back here. And then for those of you who have a spiritual bell, you're going to take your spiritual bell and you're going to ring it around the circle a couple of times. Not too crazy. You don't want to go super insane with it, but ring your bell. I'm not going to do that on camera because it's loud and crazy, but what we're going to do is we're going to just let this candle burn all the way completely down, and then what we're going to do is you're just going to dispose of it how you like. I also like to let the incense the incense that I'm using completely like go all the way down as well, and that's kind of a key indicator for me that maybe like, I don't know, we'll see how it burns, and then I'll kind of like read the smoke of like how the incense is burning, just to kind of like dictate the energies I'm feeling for the ritual. I hope my candle's not tipping over. It looks like it. At least maybe it's the angle that I'm looking at it on. But anyways, yeah, I'll kind of like read the smoke and see how it's going. Maybe it's telling me that I need to be like doing something differently, but basically as this whole thing is burning down, you want to be basically like doing your prayers, your incantations, your affirmations, whatever. This is very siren type of energy, so for those of you who do like to sing your prayers and stuff, I would highly recommend that for this. That's something that would work very well with this. But yeah, also if you're looking for this to attract like glamour turned abundance, you can also add a little bit of abundance oil and burn it onto these things, like onto the rose buds and like rose petals and stuff like that in here. But I'm not gonna do that. Actually, you know what, maybe do I want to try doing this? I don't know how this is gonna work. They're still very wet from, yeah, no, it's not even gonna burn. So I'm just going to basically leave it from here. I'm going to continue just kind of focusing on my intention and everything like that, and I'm gonna let it burn down, and then I'll dispose of it basically when the candle goes out. So yeah, that is a very, very, very quick ritual with me. Hope this was entertaining for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.